Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show that we always produce on Wednesdays. It's AWW Talk. I am Ron Pettengale, the professor, sitting here with C Crusher One. Crusher, how's it going this week?
Oh, it's pretty good. I got home a little bit late today from my daytime job, but it's just gonna be extra money in the pocket, so can't complain there.
Not at all. Not at all. Working hard, working hard. And you know
Oh yeah.
what? Speaking of people that work hard, we're going to go ahead and talk about our first match. We're going to talk about Mark met Thigpen going one on one with Jeff.
Jeff, great to see that name every single time. As we
You
know,
want to talk
he,
about two people, two of the hardest working professional wrestlers in AWW. You want to talk about these two going one on one to start AWW Friday night. It is going to be an amazing kickoff to the show, and Wolf definitely knows how to start a show off strong.
oh yeah, Jeff K coming back recently from an injury similar to mine. So it's always good to see his name.
It is always great to see a name like that, and coming back from injuries like that is hard. It's real hard. I remember when like you were kind of cleared but not cleared and decided you didn't want to wrestle anymore. Like how hard was that for you coming back? All that rigorous rehabilitation.
It's not easy. It's what your life is, and then suddenly you just can't really do it anymore. It'd be like if somebody told you, "Hey, you can't drive anymore." You have to refigure out life. But
And
gladly, I was
you
still
were
able to be with AWW.
right. You were definitely one hell of a competitor, one of the best that AWW had in the past. Um,
I wouldn't say that.
I would, and I don't believe it as wins and losses. I believe you're a good wrestler based on how much heart and soul you put into your craft and into this business. And you, sir, were one of those men that put his heart and soul into this business and almost lost his life doing it.
Well, I
So
appreciate it.
don't sell yourself short on
But
that, there, buddy.
but this isn't about me. This is about Met
I only
Thigpen and Jeff.
compared because the injuries were similar.
Yeah.
So getting the perspective on Jeff's comeback from that neck injury was just the perspective I would have from you. Um, and let's talk a little bit about last week before we go forward with this week. A lot of craziness happened last week. Um, as you know, we saw the tribute to RWP as Andrew and Smooth, the Big Dick family, went one on one with the tax collectors, and the BDF coming out with a huge, huge win. The Big Dick bomb to seal it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and you gotta know that that was two great tag teams, and all the amazing other matches. Buckscrew got a dub last week. Keyballs got a win over Thomas Kennedy last week, and I was not happy about that at all. And you can go back and listen to my reaction about that. I actually called AWW last week for the first time, so that was fun for me. To sit there with you live, Crusher, and call all
Mhm.
that action.
Mhm.
We saw Camel last week get a big win against KX, which I mean KX put up a fight, but we saw Zlotted get a win, big win against Mark, and this is huge going into this match for Mark because Mark is definitely looking for some redemption coming off of that loss in the triple threat match from last week.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. It's hard when you lose a match that you were ready to win. It really can take a toll on your psyche. So he's gonna have to regather his thoughts and be ready for Jeff.
And right, you are the returning Jeff. Moving on from that, though, we're going to see in match two, we're going to see Dudeski go one on one against Sligo.
Mm.
And that Yeah, that's going to be a good match. You know, Dudesky brings it. Former AWW World Heavyweight Champion. Um, he was formerly the leader of the Cowboys of Ram Ranch. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, you can't take anything away from Dudesky. But on the other end of the spectrum, you can't take it away from Slyko either. An amazing talent, very athletic. Brings it every time he comes. You know,
Oh yeah. And
it,
what's really huge about this match is Slyko is going against our most recent former champion.
Right.
Dudesky is not to be taken lightly. Some people call him, a fake champion, whatever you want to call him. He still wore a belt. And that means a lot. And Sligo has to prove that he can go up against belt contenders.
I agree with that statement. And if he can beat Dudesky, what does that say?
That says he's ready to compete at the highest level.
I'd have to agree with you there. Moving on from that, we're going to see Thomas Kennedy and KX go one-on-one in match 3. And as we already talked about, Thomas Kennedy, an embarrassing loss last week to the fat, sloppy Keyballs. I have no idea how Thomas Kennedy let that one go. Looking for some redemption this week. But also, on the other end of the spectrum, KX is looking for some redemption this week, coming off a loss against Camo. But someone as big and beefy as Camo, I think that KX is going to have an easier time going up against Thomas Kennedy than he did against Camo.
So I want to put a little asterisk on Thomas Kennedy's loss, because I heard from slightly inside sources that what actually happened was Keyballs had gotten a bucket of chicken from Kentucky Fried Chicken, and instead of using a napkin, he wiped the grease all over his body, just because he's that type of person. And so for Thomas Kennedy, it was harder to get a grip on Keyballs. That's just what I've heard, though.
What are you, Jerry Lawler now with your speculations and your sources?
I mean, it is Keyballs that we're talking about, so it does make sense.
I wouldn't put it past him. He's a fat, sweaty guy. The thought of that, though, him covered in chicken grease, that's not a pleasant sight. Moving on from that, we're going to see Epicac final, and Meyer compete in singles. Meyer's going to compete in singles action. And he's going to go one-on-one with Final in match number 4. And this so from me being the new guy here, I'm going to tell you, I have never seen Meyer compete in singles action before.
I want to say Meyer is a good solo competitor. I can't say he's the best, though. There's
obviously
no way
not.
I can put that tag
when
on
you're
him.
in a tag team with someone for so long, you get used to the tag team motions, and singles wrestling becomes kind of a backseat burner type of thing. But I think this is where we can see Meyer come out and show that he's a good half of that tag team, and he can hold his own in the singles. I'm gonna take Meyer. And don't get me wrong, I love Final. Final's definitely an amazing competitor, but I want to give it to Meyer in this match because I just think that's going to be the shock of the week.
This match definitely does mean more for Meyer than it does for Final. Final's already proved that he's an elite competitor. Meyer, on the other hand, has everything to prove as a solo this week. At least that's my thoughts on it.
Well, absolutely. As I was just saying, it's huge because, again, I'm the new guy here, and I've never seen Meyer compete in singles competition before. So, and I bet that you've only seen it once or twice since you've been here. So it's going to be a rare occasion where we see a member of this tag team who's a really good tag team, where we get to see if he's even better or just as good as a singles wrestler. I'm kind of excited to see this as a wrestling fan, as an analyst myself, just so I can see all the scoop there.
Oh yeah, I just hope moving on, get food from him.
We are going to talk about the main event. The Taiki Unos, Red and Blue, are going to go one-on-one with the BDF for the second week in a row. The Big Dick family are in the main event. And I have to tell you right now, these two are the top 2 teams biting for the AWW World Tag Team Championships. A chance to go on to face TB12 to get a shot at the AWW World Tag Team Championships. The BDF won their tag team match, giving their win, giving it to Potter for the late loss. And it's nice. to see this amazing tag team, this unit of uncles, of cousin, of uncle and nephew, just storming through one of the best tag teams AWW has to offer, and now they have an opportunity to beat one of the next best tag teams that AWW has to offer in the Taikunos.
Oh yeah, and I want to say, like, in my opinion, their win last week was a big upset over the tax collectors. So, like, them, if they can get that win over the Taikunos, we might be able to say they are
Number one
if
contenders.
if not the number one, they're about to be.
In my opinion, bring him on as our special guest in a moment, and I'll get his actual input on this, along with some other stuff. But in my professional opinion, after the win last week against the tax collectors, which agreeably between the two of us is one of the best tag teams that AWW has to offer, if they can get a win here tonight, I would absolutely 100% consider them the number one contenders. No more matches necessary for them to prove that they get a shot at TB12. We haven't seen TB12 go one-on-one with them yet. I know that Taikuno Red wants to get his hands on Harry and Buzzy, and I know they want to prove that they're the best tag team here. So this is definitely going to be another tag team banger for a main event. And before anybody else says another word, I want to bring on our owner and general manager, the Avatar Wolf.
Well, hello, good sir.
Hello.
It is a pleasure to have you here, boss. Before you give us your breaking news, I do want to ask you about this main event. If the BDF are able to secure a victory here tonight, would you consider them the number one contenders for the tag team championships?
Oh, I absolutely would. BDF has been going through everyone that I've put against them, and honestly, like, yes, it was a bad circumstance with the tribute match and whatnot, but like the tag collectors and the BDF were both like going through every tag team that I put against them against each other. So when I put them against each other finally on that night, for the RWP tribute show, which they both wanted to do that match, I was actually looking to see who was going to win because I figured, okay, whoever wins should have, like, be on the top of the tag team division right
But at
now.
that point, you can't count out Red or Blue in this tag team, turmoil type of deal that you have going on here, because you have a bunch of amazing.
Question. What if the Taikunos win? What does that mean for them?
Well, obviously at Christmas Chaos, they kind of got fucked over in a way. They did lose that. Did they actually lose? I believe they actually lost that match, but it was by a count out, not just by like a pinfall or submission. TB12 kind of just did the cheap way out to get out of that match up there. And I can understand why the Taikunos would be very upset about that, and they absolutely deserve another shot at the tag titles if they can beat the BDF
Hey,
on
boss,
Friday night.
just to throw that out there, just to clarify with you, it was the TB12 won via countout.
Yes.
So there was some weirdness there.
Very weird indeed. I was not expecting TB12 to do that. They've been going around saying about how, like, they're going to do things by the book, and then all of a sudden they do that, but whatever. I guess they still have some of their old ace ways in them.
So I know you're not here to talk about the main event. I know you're not here to talk about anything else. Boss, you said you have some breaking news for AWW fans. I'm going to let you take the floor for a moment.
Well, I don't have actual breaking news yet. I do have some actual things to talk about here tonight, though. And that is that we are actually trying to get... You guys both seen what happened at the start of the show last week, right?
I did.
Yes.
We're trying to figure out what's going on with the situation with Ace, and I don't know if it's a lawsuit. I don't know what's going on with that, but more stuff has transpired since the original arresting. They have Ace actually arrested right now, and he actually has some actual federal charges on him right now because Snacks didn't just go for the death on RWP as an example on what he's doing with Ace. Now, every wrestler signs a contract before the match starts that, stuff happens. If you die in the ring, it's not our responsibility. It's not the wrestler's responsibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What the prosecution is trying to actually prove is that Ace went into the matches that he's had with actual intent of killing everyone that he's actually wrestled. And notice how I say matches. He's not just going after the match at Christmas Chaos, he's going after the match at the Swamp when Ace threw 3 competitors off the Hell in a Cell cage.
All right, but how do you prove? Okay, so I want to bring you back to something that was said during the interview between me and Ace last week. Okay, where he admits that he came out to maliciously hurt these men, but murder was not on his mind. And I firmly, when I looked into his eyes and he looked at me and he said that, I've never known something to be more true in my entire life. I've never believed someone that I've ever believed than I believed Ace when he looked me in my eyes and said, yes, I maliciously wanted to hurt these men. But did I want to kill them? No. Do accidents happen? Yes. We know the risks that we take when we entered the squared circle. Look at Crusher, for example.
Yeah.
He understood what happened. He didn't take any of it. He's still here with us to this day. So
and I still understand the risk of me
how
stepping
can
back in.
prosecution? You'd have to go inside of Ace's brain to really understand what he's thinking. And technology has not produced that much yet. And from what I'm to understand, I've reached out to Mr. Potter's spouse, his widow, and I've been told that if she has a chance, she plans to drop any charges against Ace on her end because she doesn't feel that it was maliciously a thing. Like, and I quote from what I got from her off the phone was, Ryan understood the risks going out on the road 210 out of 365 days of the year. He understood that he could be battered and broken. Yeah, we all understand that. So how is this part of I just don't understand how Snacks is getting away with this.
Well,
Is
I
my
don't think
question.
Snacks is going to get away with this in the end. I think we're actually going to win the case. And I shouldn't even say we. I think Ace is going to win the case regardless. AWW is actually not actually legally bind in any of this. It's going to be between Ace and the prosecution, whoever the prosecution might be. And I think Ace actually has a solid defense to do that. However, we all know how long a legal system would take.
Mhm.
I mean, Crusher, you tried to, you had some lawsuits back in the day before AWW, and, we've heard about them. You know how long an actual, court case takes.
Yeah.
And right now, because of the longevity of this case and how long it might take, I can't guarantee Ace is going to get out of prison anytime soon because of this.
But if Potter's wife wants to try and get involved and drop any charges against Ace because she firmly believes that it's not Ace's fault, could that be a factor in this?
I believe it could be. I also know that since they're going after also the deaths of the other 3 characters that we're not going to mention the name right now, that is also a problem as well, and you don't have actually anyone that could actually, drop the cases for those 3 individuals. Right now, Ace has a body count of 4 that is being prosecuted on him as well tonight.
I know you're listening from jail, so I've tried to do everything I can to clear your name because I don't believe you're a murderer. I don't believe you're a malicious murderer. I think you're a man that can't control his own strength, and you hurt people. That's what, in my opinion, professional wrestlers are bred to do. They're bred to fight. They're bred to wrestle. They're bred to bleed and hurt. So, guys, I don't see a problem here.
So, I'm going to say this as a representative of AWW. Right now, I know I haven't really announced the news yet about this, but I'll announce it here on the show. We are 3 shows away from Day of Black Sun, which is coming up in the near future. Right now,
Day of Black Sun 2 or Day of Black Sun 3?
Day of Black Sun 2.
Ooh, yeah, you've been doing this for a year now, haven't you?
Yes. I don't know where you got the 3 from. I think we haven't done it 2 years yet, though.
I've been doing my show. I've been doing my other show for 2 or 3 years. That's probably where I get that from. My bad.
But Day of Black Sun, I want to have Ace on the show. Now, we all know the history last year of Day of Black Sun. Crusher, you especially should know.
Hmm.
That match was a defining match in your career. Do you remember it?
Was it the Saigon match?
No.
Was it the Ace match?
No.
Hmm.
I guess
don't
he has,
remember it.
he has amnesia. It was the night that Crusher went out and won the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah. Sorry, all the pay-per-views just kind of blended together.
And I will have a big
doesn't
announcement
help that you
on
got kicked in your face for a whole year of your career either.
I'm going to go out there and make an announcement for Day of Black Sun on Friday, and I cannot announce it right now for you guys, but I think after revealing that, you guys might have an actual idea of where we're going with this.
Can I speculate, boss? Because
You can
you know
speculate all
I
you
wouldn't
want.
be me. I wouldn't be me, and you wouldn't be paying me the money that you pay me if I didn't speculate. Guys, are we going to see another Royal Rumble? Are we going to see a Royal Rumble again? I'm kind of excited to see who could be in the Royal Rumble and who decided to show up. Will we see some old faces? Can we see some new ones? I'm kind of stoked about this.
I'll have a bigger announcement
me
on
too.
Friday during the show.
You know I'm going to be there.
Oh yeah.
But that's right now where AW stands with the Ace situation. If we can get Ace out of jail sooner than rather than later, we're going to try and get him a match on Day of Black Sun. If we can't, I don't know where we're going from there. We might have to wait until the actual court case is
Honestly, I
actually
think
over.
this is, in my opinion, I think this is just Snacks' way of getting out of not having to fight Ace. I think Snacks is scared of Ace. And anytime I've gone to Snacks to ask him to interview with me on the show, he denies to talk to me because he doesn't want to answer the real questions, because he's ducking and dodging, because he's scared of Ace. It's plain and simple, he's scared of Ace. That's why he got the police involved and couldn't handle it as a man like himself. No offense, at least Potter was man enough to stand up to Ace and do whatever he thought possible to defeat Ace without the police. In my opinion, in my professional opinion, Snacks, you're just another snake from a company that shouldn't even be riding the coattails of AWW. But I digress. You're still here and you're champion. You're just not my champion.
He's a people's champion.
Yeah, wouldn't even call him that. I would consider Pat the Wise Man a champion before I consider Snacks a champion.
Oh,
And
God.
that's the lowest blow that I could possibly take towards him. With that being said, before I get my anger in a rut, because I could talk a whole nother 30 minutes about the Wise Man crap, that Wise crap brand, the poop all over them. I'm Ron Pettingale. That's Crusher. This has been AWW Talk. We will see you Friday night.
And don't
Crusher?
forget to hit that subscribe button. It's right down below. It's free to do. Hit that
Check out
like
the
button,
merch store.
also free. Yes, the
Check out the
merch
merch store.
store. Check out that. It's fully set up. It's got great shirts, great
I wonder
hats.
if there's going to be a shirt of Ace sitting in jail now. He has a shirt of him throwing people off the cell. I wonder if he has one of him. I mean, help Ace get out of jail. Buy a shirt. It will help him get out of jail, maybe.
Oh my God. Okay. Y'all have a good night.
Peace out. See you guys on Friday.